CATL announced the game changer that will do more to destroy the fossil fuel industry than Tesla ever managed. We're dedicating our Friday night news slot totally to this massive news. I'm Dave, welcome to Dave Takes It On. Pull into any petrol station for your 5-minute top up and you're likely to face a choice of just 2 pumps for each fuel, regular and premium. While some high performance cars can't safely use the regular fuel, many other drivers will be tempted by the hope that these premium fuels are more efficient and give you more miles per gallon. But the oil giants are very cautious in actually claiming this, using phrases like burns more efficiently or offers better performance. And it avoids directly stating that you will get more miles per gallon, but you will definitely pay an awful lot more. Well, over in the EV world, you have a much wider choice of battery power. Things like ternary, LFP, sodium ion, solid state batteries, to name just a few. But all still result in inferior range and longer charging times than topping up with fossil fuel, as they constantly tell us with absolute delight. But CATL now, as a Chinese battery company largest in the world, shatters those two critical issues with the launch of their brand new Shenzhen Plus battery and their 500 watt hours per kilogram blockbuster. Now, it's vital to state this is not hypothetical. These are already in mass production and will be launched in the next few months as manufacturers complete critical changes to their latest models to be able to use them. So, what exactly has changed? Well, if you ask any petrol car driver why they don't have an EV, with prices finally coming down to sensible levels, top 3 reasons will always remain. Can't charge at home, lack of public chargers, and pathetic range, every single time. Today, these have just been destroyed. And we need to look into why the Shenzhen Plus battery does what premium fuels do not do, and how that advance, together with last year's announcement of the 500 watt hour per kilogram batteries, will transform the entire world of motoring. Well, energy density affects fossil fuels and batteries alike. It's just a fancy way of saying how much energy or power you can get out of a gallon of fuel or a kilogram weight of battery. With the premium petrol, all they offer is usually just a few percentage difference, possibly. But with batteries, the differences are real and huge. The original batteries are called ternaries, and nickel, manganese, cobalt, and they have a power output up to around about 200 watt hours per kilogram. The very best are now nudging over that, but not many. LFP came along, offered much less originally, about 150, but now Shenzhen Plus has taken that above 205. Similar to most ternary batteries, but they are very much cheaper and a huge deal better in life expectancy. They're up to 2.5 times cheaper. Well, sodium ion batteries also offer up to 160 with 200 forecast sometime, possibly. But they're even cheaper still, but they have so many snags that will prevent their widespread success in mainstream cars. Well, the much touted and hyped solid state batteries, they don't exist. They may never be commercially viable, ever. Enough said really, but one day they might possibly, perhaps, begin at about 300, we're warned, and no one knows the upper limit. But CATL has just announced they're already producing their bombshell product, the Shenzhen Plus battery, that already offers 205, amongst the highest currently on the market, but are working on that in a different direction to get that up to achieve 500. Yeah, today, 500 watt hours per kilogram. It's absolutely really a reality, just not yet in mass production or down to commercially acceptable prices. Being LFP technology, it is much cheaper than what we already drive around with, and has benefits like much faster charging, longer life, virtually no risk of catching fire. Is this a big deal? Well, far bigger than you think. Imagine if Shell or Esso announced today that you can buy a new premium fuel, goes into your existing car, that has no disadvantages or issues. costs exactly the same as the petrol you're buying today, but gives you twice the miles per gallon. Would you buy it? Look, only a total idiot would buy the old fuel. But the impact of Shenzhen Plus development is so very much deeper. The fossil fuel supporters cite pitiful range for not wanting an EV. Shenzhen Plus already launched and in mass production, yet it's here now, fitted into a Tesla Model Y battery pack of exactly the same size as normal, is projected to give a real-world range of over 700 miles. Yeah, I know it says on the thing 1,000 kilometres or 625 miles. That's any other car, but in a superbly efficient Model Y, they believe that equates to over 700 miles at 1,120 kilometres. And that, with the Shenzhen Plus already, is actually longer than most petrol cars can drive on a tank full. That length is between 300 and 500 miles. And it can charge in less than 10 minutes. And that's virtually the same as filling your car with petrol if you count having then to go in and pay in the shop, particularly if there's a queue. But this is huge. With the average driver doing 8,000 miles a year, a petrol car will probably choose to fill up once a fortnight. While the Model Y would only need to charge less than once a month. Plus, being LFP technology, it's much cheaper, as we've said, doesn't use rare earth metals and ores, so no more kids digging cobalt out with their bare hands. Oh, sorry, yeah, they will, because they still do that for your smartphone batteries, don't they? Not for EV batteries anymore. And killing another false myth, it's incredibly difficult to catch fire. We who drive EVs know how ridiculous the myths are that the fossil fuel supporters spout. Most actually date back to over 10 years ago, when EVs of the day would struggle to cover 100 miles on a charge and take many hours to recharge. And battery fires were largely restricted to poorly manufactured batteries and, even worse, thermal control of the battery packs. These were made worse by even poorer battery management systems due to legacy auto not understanding the importance of battery management and temperature control and being just desperate to cut manufacturing costs. Well, LFP batteries just about eliminate the fire risk. Today, the highest risk of fire with LFP battery results from a crash, and that applies equally or more so to ICE cars that have tanks full of highly flammable fuel, commonly called a bomb. I believe now we need a massive advertising campaign finally laying all these to rest, just before the oil giants and media switch their focus of attack away from range and charging, can't charge at home, to, oh, the grid's going to collapse, the grid's still mostly coal, or hydrogen gives you unlimited range, and other such lies and rubbish. Our monthly UK EV public charging pricing guide identifies public chargers that allow this once a month charging session to cost under £50, as opposed to having to pay nearly £100 a month for your petrol car twice monthly charging. That means the next generation of EV drivers who can't charge at home ever will be driving around at half the price of a petrol car doing 40 miles per gallon charging out on the road. And those who can charge at home will be paying less each month than the price of a large McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese meal, and much, much less if you normally add the obligatory McFlurry. Where was I? Add all this together and a record number of people are finally going to start to look at possibly considering, to think about, sometime in the future, maybe having a look or a test drive in an EV. CATL next-gen batteries could easily take over from where Tesla has got us already and launch EVs into the mainstream must-have sector of the new car market. Of course, Tesla won't sit back and allow that. They are the largest BEV manufacturer in the world and one of the largest single customers that CATL has. So expect to see these next-gen batteries appearing first in Tesla models later this year, years ahead of everyone else, of all the legacy manufacturers. Even more exciting is this next-gen battery is now easily past the power density of 400 watt-hours per kilogram that the aviation industry requires for mass adoption. Well, there are cargo planes flying right now for DHL in America. They're there already. They're 100% EVs, they just operate on the shorter sub 100 mile parcel runs. 500 watt hours per kilogram allows them to spread into the mid and soon the long haul flights. Elon long ago stated he's got designs for Tesla aircraft, so watch this space. You might soon be flying off to Tenerife or Turkey in a Tesla. But meantime, I'm really interested in hearing what lies the fossil fuel supporters now invent to try to hold back EV sales. Now they can't use range, charging speed, or, oh, I can't charge at home. I'm interested, but I'm not worried. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Dave.